Let's go Buffs. Welcome back to Colorado 2027. First of all, before we go through the world of recruiting, let's look at the football team and see what we're dealing with for the 2027 class on our way to the 2028 class. When you're looking at the football team, Juju Lewis is in his junior year in 2027. He's on all the NFL scouts' top boards as the number one quarterback in the 2027 draft class. Coach Prime and the scouting staff has been doing a really good job of putting this football team together since the 2022 season when they were 1-11 versus what he did in 2022, and then what he did in 2022 going into 2023, and then what he did for 2023 going into 24, where he set his son Shador, Travis Hunter, and Shiloh Sanders up to what he's doing for the 2025 class and what he brought in, right? He was still heavy in the portal, but he also brought in some really good high school kids from the 2025 class, 14 of them to be exact. And Juju's class was spectacular, right? It was one of the best classes he brought in. And then in 2026, he followed that up and did it again. Now, again, Jaden O'Neal will be, as of right now, is projected to be the starter, right? He comes in as a highly touted four-star elite, right? So he comes in looking to take over the job after the season is over with. And the problem is he wants to wear the number 12. And Deion hasn't given it to him yet, right? It's available, but he hasn't given it to him yet because of Colorado's Travis Hunter. They don't know if they're going to retire the number yet. Now, we also brought in five-star Casillas, Emmanuel Casillas, five-star star. The question around him is his camp been talking about, is he going to stay in Colorado where he hit the portal, especially what Colorado did in this class, in this incoming class they got coming right now, and then Gaffney, another guy on the roster. So they do have 4 quarterbacks on the roster, and Deion said the goal is to bring in a top-tier quarterback every year to keep them always in the mix of being able to play high-level football at the quarterback position. Now, this running back room is ridiculous, right? First of all, we're going to talk about the starter, Amari Latimer, right? We'll talk about him first before we dig into the storylines of everybody else. Amari Latimer. All right, he out of Sandy Creek, okay? Kid from the 2026 class, Amari Latimer. Sandy Creek, Tyrone City. His city is Tyrone, Georgia, 2026 class. And in that class, he was the number 28 running back in the nation, but 38 player overall in the state of Georgia. And the 247 composite 4-star, he was 213th in the nation, number 17th at the running back position, at 24 in the state of Georgia. Now he had a high accuracy of going to Texas, but Colorado was able to pull him out of Georgia. And they said Cam Michael had a big deal over that. So we brought in one of the top running backs in the 2026 class, and Amari Latimer. He's the number 17 running back in the country in that 2026 class. The next back is none other than Anthony Israel from out of Camden, New Jersey. Went to Collinswood High School. Really, really good football player, two-way player. He also played cornerback, could play cornerback for Colorado. That would be something that we never seen done next season if he does what he does this year. Deion said if you could dominate on one side of the ball, we'll give you an opportunity to play on the other side of the ball. This kid can play cornerback with no problem. When you take a look at what he is, he was a 4-star out of that 2027 class. We're not to unlock some things. What we wanted to go to is what he's done this year as a running back, right? He's not the starting running back for Colorado, but taking down Rashawn Salan's rushing record in the single season with 2,194 At 9.3 yards to carry and 26 rushing touchdowns, he is now Colorado's single-season leading rusher of all time. 2,055 yards for Rashawn Solana. He won the Heisman. But we're in a new day and age of football, so this will not be enough for a Heisman run. But you got to think he's going to be on everybody's first Heisman ballot next season coming in. Dominant year, and he did this without being, let's say he's played 2 quarters a game. He's not even a starter, but he's got starter numbers right now. Now, Messiah Mickens. This is another running back from the 2026 class that Colorado brought in. Listen, man, they went and brought Marshall Faulk in as their running backs coach. And the moment they brought Marshall Faulk in, everything changed when it came down to bringing in top-tier running backs, right? They go to the state of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg to be exact, and go get Messiah Mickens, who was definitely crystal ball and had a hard commit to Penn State. He had Georgia, Kentucky, Miami, and North Carolina, and Notre Dame on his list, and Colorado was able to swoop in and go get the number 4 player in the state of Pittsburgh, the number 9 running back in the nation, and the nationally ranked 106. So he's a top 150 player. 4-star 90 rating, and his composite is a .9518 as a 4-star. They bring in Messiah. When you look at him, makes an impact in the running game and the passing game. Showed big playability and consistency throughout his freshman season. Has verified size with short shuttle in the low 4.3s to demonstrate his change of direction and stop-start ability. Can easily add size and strength to play at 215. He's already at 210. Has spot duty in the return game. We don't really need him to return punts. Can get to the outside but is most comfortable early in his high school career running between the tackles. Possesses vision and can make cuts as a high rate of speed, is balanced and runs through arm tackles. Possesses elusiveness behind the line of scrimmage, allows plays to develop, and is able to find a hole even when the play is designed to go elsewhere. Understands how to be patient and set up blocks on the second and third level. Is a physical runner who is willing to lower shoulder and take on linebackers and defensive backs, and willing blocker who understands the importance of and embraces blitz pickups. Already a good pass catcher who adjusts well to inaccurate throws, lines up in the slot, and can come out the backfield in the passing game. Tracks the ball well and has soft hands. Is difficult to bring down after the catch. Is difficult for defenders backs to track down in the open field, and is a high-level Power 5 prospect with high-end NFL draft characteristics. Now, coming into this season, it was a battle between all these running backs in the backfield. The one back that wasn't expected to play at all was Anthony Israel. Now, what he brings to the table out of all these running backs, you really don't see it a lot because they just running him right now because of what their receiver room look like. But AI is probably their best receiver. This guy could play slot receiver for them if they needed him to. He's a legit wide receiver. In the 707 circuit, he dominated like wide receivers did, right? Like you would never know he played running back in the 707 circuit. One of the things that he did on the football field. They really, really, really are high on this kid in Colorado. They love him out there. Flat out dog. But again, Mickens is another one of those guys, and what killed him early in training camp, he had fumbling issues. And you know Coach Prime is not putting him on the field if you're going to turn the ball over. If you're playing for Coach Prime, you better be coming into this bitch with speed. All right? Unless you're a Michael Welch. Michael Welch, most think he probably going to transfer out of here at the end of the year because he was the starting running back in 2024. He played a lot in 2024. Let's look at his stats for his career because this is the first year he hasn't really been the main ball carrier. Let's just talk about him. And his true freshman year, he carried the ball 75 times for 530 yards in 2024. He had 7 rushing touchdowns. In 2026, because he got redshirted in 2025, but in 2026 he came on the field and he gave us 216 carries for 1271 and 15 rushing touchdowns. Thinking that he's going to come back into the season as the number 1 running back, and it just didn't happen, right? Michael Welch has been dealing with a knee injury that kept him out all year. But when you are not on the field and you're not available, because one of the best qualities a player can have is availability. And when you're not available, things happen around you. And what you saw happen around him was Latimer takes over the starting running back job in the spring game. Israel goes from being getting a red shirt to being, and maybe we can't red shirt this kid. And he's too valuable to us not to put him on the field. And he goes from last on the depth chart to number 2 on the depth chart. But the number 1 running back is averaging 5.2 yards a carry, right? 159 carries, 822, 14 rushing touchdowns in 2027. And again, he's the starting running back, but don't get the starting running back carries because of the emergence of Anthony Israel. Now, Messiah Mickens isn't written off. Can't write him off in their backfield. We like him. We love him. We don't think he's going to go anywhere. But he's only carried the ball 6 times. But he has a whopping 10.3 yards a carry. You're going to see a lot more Messiah Mickens throughout these playoff runs, and especially coming into next year. The one thing Prime has said is that he loves his running back room, and he would like for all of them to stay. Now, the one guy that's probably not going to stay, and it's probably best to his ability not to, is Brandon Hood. Listen, Brandon Hood is a junior. He's the fastest running back on his team, and that's saying a lot when you got 3 out of your 5 running backs that are 4.2, 4.3 guys, right? Saying a lot. Brandon Hood is the fastest player on his football team by far right now. And not even that, but you know, in 2024 he got redshirted. He had he's coming off that ACL tear. He just hasn't gotten to full strength yet. We did bring in a new sent him to a new doctor to really see what's going on with him. And we think he could do it, right? 5.9 yards a carry in 2025. And 2026, he also at 4.4, 3 touchdowns. He got 9 touchdowns in his career with 108 carries. So the kid's doing a really good job when he does get the carries, but when you got a crowded running back room, and again, availability is the best thing for anybody to be on the field. And right now, it's the Latimer Israel show. But we want to see how this is going to play itself out. So when you're looking at this future roster, you're looking at a team that really is going to be really good on the offensive side of the ball, right? Okay, Juju Lewis will be a first overall pick if he comes out. And if he stays, then Colorado is looking to be very dominant. And then O'Neal, we think he's going to be the next up, right? But then we'll talk about what they're bringing in this year as well. When you get to the wide receiver room, Cam Michael has done something nobody's done in Colorado outside of what Travis Hunter did. And we're not talking about the two-way player Travis Hunter. We're just talking about Travis Hunter, the receiver. So Cam Michael, the numbers this man has putting up since he's been on the field is ridiculous. Now, he had a high grade last year where he could have came out in the 2026 class. He decided to come back. He's looking for a championship, and he told Coach Prime when he got there that he would give him 4 to 5 seasons before he make a decision to go to the NFL. Well, it's time to pay the piper, because you got a guy that's been over 2,000 yards every year, 47 touchdowns in his campaign as a redshirt freshman. In 2026, he went over that and 3,082 yards with 44 touchdowns. And right now, after missing the first 5 games of football in 2027, this man still has 2,311 yards and 38 touchdowns. And he's not the only, like with those numbers, and you're looking at what the running backs are doing, and then you look at what Cam is doing by himself, you would think that, you know, it's a run game with Colorado, and then Cam Michael is the guy that gets all the passes thrown to him. He's the man, but that's not the case, right? Because young Quentin Gibson from the 2025 class is now emerged as one of the best receivers on this football team as well. You take a look at his stats and what he's doing on his career right now, right? Look at him, 97 catches. And look, he played a little bit last year, and he actually helped them in the playoffs a lot. 31 for 424 as a redshirt freshman, 7 touchdowns. But then he exploded this year, 97 catches, 1690. And 19 touchdowns right now. Now, that goes with Cam Michael that got 2,000 yards as a receiver. So it tells you that these guys are, Julian Lewis is spreading the ball around to his receivers. And then there's Draylon Miller. Big Play Dre has been the man, 1,000-yard receiver every year, right? He's only went over double-digit touchdowns one season. That's 2026. He should surpass that this season throughout the playoffs and all that, but we're talking about regular season numbers though. But this man has been consistent, Mr. Consistent every year for Colorado. So you're looking at a really good wide receiver room. And the problem is they haven't played with their full lineup, right? Uh, over the first 5 games, Cam Michael wasn't on the field. And over the last 4 games, neither was Amarion Miller, who's the senior in this group. This is going to be all right as a sophomore. He had 15 catches, 15 one catch. That's it in 2024. He didn't play, injury then. Then he explodes in 2025 with 92 catches with 15, 32, and 11 touchdowns. Comes right back in 26 and go 82, 12, 34, and 14 touchdowns. And then he gets a hamstring injury that kept him off the field after the first 5 games. This kept him off the field, and he's just starting to get back into the groove of things right now. Now, Omarion Miller is in his senior year, so this is it for him. We do know he still has a draft grade, and at the NFL draft is very high on him, but not really having a good senior year is going to damper that. So he's going to have to play really well at his pro day and at the combine. Like, he's going to go there and then do something really special in one of these senior bowls. But over the last 2 games, Cam has actually stepped up. And Amar O has stepped up, right? Because he's getting back into the mix of things. But when you're not available, other players are coming into their own as well. And what end up happening to you is you got to fight your way back on the field. And one thing Coach Prime preaches is competition. Best man will win, right? And we know who he is and we're loyal to him. But injury kept him off the field in 2027, and the emergence of Quentin Gibson is taking the way that running back room looking is taking away place and snaps away from him right now. O is back in the lineup though as a starter, so. You heard Coach Prime go out loud and say Quentin better come back next year. Simple as that. Why? Because we know as a redshirt sophomore he's eligible, and even though he's having a breakout year, we think he will be benefiting the state and NFL. State and college for another season before he decides to go. All right. We do have an opportunity to get Draylon back. I don't think Cam is coming back. He'll be he's arguably the best receiver in the 2027 class. So I doubt he'll come back. He had a first round grade last year. So I doubt he'll come back. But Gibson, Miller, O is gone. So we know we lose to O and most likely Cam Michael. But then you have Malachi Toney, the Florida product. Another one of those elite receivers. Been playing since his freshman year at American Heritage out there in Florida. He's an elite talent as well, right? With a lot of room to still grow, right? He already maxed out on his speed. IQ, he'll get better. We know he can get stronger, and his hands and route running can still give you one cap power as well. So he's already pretty much at his max as well. So it's going to determine his work ethic. It's going to determine what he is, right? He's a big play waiting to happen anytime he touches the ball as well. Look, man, the man averaged 23.7 yards a game, 10.9 yards a play. Or is that 10, averaging 23.7 yards, I'm sorry, and 10.9 yards a game. We're really going to get him 6 catches for 142 and 3 touchdowns. Juju Lewis is in the same situation Shedeur Sanders was in 2024 with a wealth of wide receivers and talent at the wide receiver room where, some people will say, why do you want this many receivers on one football team? There's not enough footballs to go around. And as you can see, it worked in 2024, and it seems to be working since then. Coach Prime might know what he's doing. Now, that's the lead guys, right? There's one senior in this room that been here from day one, right? We also brought in a transfer, Brandon Hillis. He transferred then. He's a special teams guy. You'll see him walk on somebody's NFL football team, and will be a special teams guy for them for sure. We're looking at Devon Hall. We know he's coming back. Another speed guy, right? Brought him out of the portal as well. But then you start looking at some of this young talent. Who knows if they'll be here at the end of the year, but you know how to go. Most freshmen that get redshirted that think they the guys, they going to go somewhere else where they know they can play, especially with the room being crowded like this. Because we haven't even talked about big-time C.J. Wiley, the big-time four-star out of Georgia. We haven't talked about him. What about Quan XL Farrakhan Jr., redshirt sophomore as well? So this class that they brought in the 2025 class is ridiculous. Adrian Wilson is still here. Q is here, right? Farrakhan X. Wiley comes in, and then you got Quentin all in that same class. So they're waiting for their time to be the next up, right? So if Draylon, Cam, and the 3Ms leave, if they do leave, next up is right here, right? Q, Tony, Wiley, Farrakhan, and Wilson. The tight end room is thick as well. You're looking at DeZusa out of Colorado. He stayed. Right now, he's their best overall tight end because he can do a little bit of everything, block and go get the ball. But their playmaker at the tight end position is Corbin Lezier. Dog, right? We got to put a red shirt on Craig Quills. He hasn't been shirted yet. And I don't think he's been on the field at all, even on special teams. Yep. So he'll be shirted, and he'll be next up in that line. And they bringing in three tight ends as well right now. And I gave him verbal commits. But when you look at the speed of LeSure, that he's a threat at the receiver position. He's been a starter on the field for a couple years, only a 3-star, but plays well above that. And the one thing they did was that tight end room, one of the struggles of 2023 and 2024, is now one of the strengths of their football team. In 2025, this man had 1,000 yards. Again, his production went down because of what's happening in that running back room. But in 2026, 629, and he's been playing a lot more rotating with that tight end room because of the depth that we have right now. So 19 catches, 325, and 4 touchdowns in 2027. But at any moment, this guy can take over a football game. So when you think about from 2022 to 2027 and what Coach Prime, the Prime effect has done to Colorado and the recruiting game and all, you see that this roster is being built the way it's supposed to be. Jordan Seaton will be a top pick in the draft for sure. Although to me, I think Jordan is not playing at his level, a high level, the level I thought he would be playing at as a senior year. But, you know, this guy could have walked out as a junior if he wanted to. He gave us 4 years, so we are proud of him. Solid on the O-line, but we're bringing in a really good offensive line. We'll show you. Brett Coolidge on his redshirt freshman year is really playing at a high level for us right now. Take a look at his numbers and what he's doing. He's giving up 9 sacks, though. Right? First year freshman, but the way they throw the ball in Colorado, we like that. They got some guys that, you know, probably going to walk onto some teams. Cash Cleveland is coming back. We do got to get better at the center room, but we got guys that, like, we think this guy can play on at any position he wants, actually on the O-line. 6'4", 325, and Mitchell Goodman, the 4-star elite. And then, look, nothing but room to grow. We like this kid, like his potential and what he can bring to the table. And we know he can play anywhere on the line of scrimmage. So losing to Jordan Seaton won't kill us as much as you think it is because we got guys, and then we got guys coming in. So we like what we got on the offensive line as well. Big Zach Owens, you got Chauncey Gooden. And that right tackle, Big Carday Smith, is holding it down as a true sophomore. So we're good there. And on the defensive side of the ball, McPherson at the end, redshirt freshman, brought in Murphy out of the portal. You're looking at Brandon Davis Swain in his junior year. He'll be back for one more season in merit as well. At D-tackle, we really like our D-tackle room. HUD. Now, he can walk out as a junior if he wants to, but we don't think that's going to happen. Malitila, and a 5-star elite dog. And he's playing, but not as much as we would like him to play. But look, 5 sacks right now, and he doesn't even play full-time football for us. And again, we got guys right now, and we bringing them in. So, and at the linebacker position, we did get Tyler Atkinson, the best linebacker in Georgia, one of the best players in the 2026 class. He's a monster for us this year. They play him at middle linebacker, outside linebacker, edge rusher. He does a little bit of everything for us, and we all know what Illy Phillips. And then Montez Walker. Montrez hasn't really seen the field this year. He'll be up and coming next season because we do think we're going to lose and OBB. Goldberg is still here. And then in that secondary, you're looking at Colton Hood. In his senior year, he leads all Colorado DBs with interceptions over the career. How about Naeem Alford, the 5-star? Shamar Arnolks, Isaiah Hards, who could play wide receiver, running back, or corner. Malachi Murphy. These are guys that have been in the building, and we still got Dorian Barney, guys that came out of Barney and Ornox both came out of Carleton High School with Juju Lewis. Safety room is strong. You can see we didn't attack the safety room at all because we like our safety room right now, especially right here, the 3-star. We like this 3-star. Not him. That's Kilo. We want Paul. We think he's going to develop into a monster. He got nothing but room to grow. You see how he plays his part. He will get a shirt. Both of these guys. I don't even know how many of them be on the roster, but we did get really good play out of the red shirt freshman from the 2026 class. He's been balling all year. He's been a liability at times too, but I mean the numbers, he got 72 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, and 7 interceptions as a redshirt freshman. Speaks volumes. Branch, we know who he is, and then on the other side, Baldwin has been a monster for 3 years for us, and then we got Tejada also that we like. Really good speed in that secondary. So that's what's on the roster right now, and let's go look at what Coach Prime and them are doing on National Signing Day. All right, these guys all signed the dotted line right now. Look, this is Marshall Manning, Peyton Manning's younger son. Ignore the name, Kyrie Dubose. This would be Marshall Manning. So we attack the quarterback room and we bring in a guy with 3 mentals and abilities. Goal option king. He's a dual threat quarterback, something that Eli or Peyton didn't have in their arsenal, but Archie did. And not only did Archie did, their older brother also had a lot of dual threatness in him. He could play every position. He was a really good wide receiver at Ole Miss before his career was ended. But generations happen, and they said Marshall Manning is more like the father, Arch Manning, than any of them are, right? And let's talk about it, right? He's already a 4.5, 4.4 guy, and strong arm. So he's going to come in, and Jaden O'Neal is going to be in a situation because does Marshall come in and start day one for Colorado? Because you know they're going to have a QB room battle, especially if Juju leaves. You know there's not a guaranteed starter. And competition is everything in Colorado. Nobody's handed the keys without having to go through earning that shit. So the number 2 player in the nation will be coming to Colorado. At the linebacker position, we brought in a lot of linebackers this class to retool that room for Coach Hart to really show that what he's been doing in the recruitment room. We brought in the number 6 guy in the nation at linebacker, the number 1 linebacker and middle linebacker, and the number 2 middle linebacker in the nation, number 7 player in the nation as well, and Damian Downs. We were really high on Damian Downs. We think he's going to be a really big time player. Both of these guys got the talent to play year 1. At DN, Nicholas Allridge will be coming in. Right tackle, DeAndre Fauci, who's played left tackle in high school, but they got him graded to be a right tackle. Looks like he's going to come in. Chris Wall, you know what I mean? If Byron Baldwin decides to take his talents to the NFL, Chris Wall comes in that strong safety room, keeping them at least 2 deep there before they move somebody from that free safety room into that strong safety position. But he's they call him the Shiloh of high school football. 4-star Jelani Willis. Really good speed on the edge. He's a pass cover right outside linebacker out of high school, 6'1", 231, out of Utah. He's a guy that they drop in coverage a whole lot. The question on him is, can he get to the quarterback from outside linebacker position to play in the system? To play in Colorado's defensive system, you know, they don't have a system really, or they have a a bunch of shooters. What type of shooter are you going to be? Are you going to be a guy that's going to be on the field on pass downs, or can you be a all three down guy where if we need you to get to the quarterback, you can do exactly that? Glenn Major. Now, for them to bring in the number 6 running back in the nation, knowing that they got a crowded running back room and is really thick, especially young, and he still decided to come to Colorado, tells you everything you need to know about that recruiting staff and what they're able to do, and what there ain't no selling anything in these guys, right? It's the pitch, it's the conversation, and it's the facts of this is what we're going to do. But when you have Marshall Faulk as your running backs coach, that's what happens. Guys in that running back room don't care who's in that backfield, who's in your backfield already. They care about who's coaching those guys in the backfield. Simple as that. And I think bringing him in is going to tell you a lot about what's going to happen at the end of the year with Hood and my boy Welch. Do they stay at Colorado or do they move on? Darrell Dragos, Fort Myers, Florida, 6'1", 202 pounds, track star that can play football, right? 99 speed, right? He got to work on his acceleration, but that 99 speed, that 4.2 type of running is going to tell you a whole lot. So we'll see. Is he going to be a guy that, 63 awareness, is he a guy that come in and play day one, or a shirt guy? Like, we'll see how his movement go. But he said he's going to trust the coach who doesn't want to play for the best defensive back of all time, and Coach Prime, right? Especially coming from out of Fort Myers, you know who his favorite corner is. Right tackle, Eric Madu. He's the number 86 player in the nation, number 4 at the position at right tackle. He's coming in as an elite 4-star, so he's really a 5-star. You're looking at Kevin Lord. I think he's going to be a project guy. I do think he has some qualities that can make him play, but my question is, he comes in and put on 15, 20 pounds. Is he going to be a hand in the dirt DN, or will he still be at the linebacker position? The one thing he lacks is speed. The next two defensive players don't lack speed at all at the linebacker position, right? Austin Grabil is a speed guy, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, looking at a 4.5 guy at the linebacker position. 86 tackle. He's a really strong tackler in high school right now. Doesn't translate to the college level. So again, Coach Hart is being tooled with a whole bunch of weapons. And then you're looking at Derek Torrance. He is the fastest linebacker probably in his class. 92 speed, 91 excel. You're looking at a 4.4 guy. Really good tackler, really good play recognition. Awareness is really high as well, and he's really an athlete. So we like this kid. Another one of those gems, right? 4-star gem that really is a 5-star. So we like him. And then again, we pay attention to stars, but Colorado go get the players that they think are going to be NFL players. That's coming there with the NFL dream to be coached by NFL players. Kerry Baum, the 6'4", 208-pound physical wide receiver out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. 90, really good speed, jumps out the building, and is a 50-50 go-getter, elite wide receiver, another 5-star type talent. Raphael Deuce, outside linebacker, another pass coverage guy, really good speed as well, elite when it comes down to being a high school player. This is one of those guys that can absolutely be you only get 32 5-stars, right? So this kid has 5-star potential. They really like this kid. Like, this is another one of those guys that he was on record saying he just want to come play for Coach Prime and Coach Hart, and that sitting for a year doesn't bother him at all. He just want to get better and get that NFL feel. All right, we're going to California and bring out one of their best D tackles. He's a speed rusher too, with good size, 6'1", 300. This is the Warren Sapp and D. Lou factor right here. They go get themselves an elite D tackle. Look, man, at D tackle, when you already got 81 speed, 91 strength, you already strong as an ox. Finesse moves, like this is a Warren Sapp clone right here. Remember the name Byron Jones. Quarterback Santiago Manzo comes in as well as the 231 player in the nation. 21 at the position. Really good speed, nice dual threat quarterback. We keep seeing Pat Shermer go get scrambling quarterbacks. It's for a reason, right? They dealt with Shador. Juju surprised everybody with his scrambling ability. Actually, he didn't have to do it a lot in high school, so people ignored the fact that he wasn't a slow quarterback and that he could run the ball if we needed to, which opened up Colorado's offense. Tim Chow at tight end, Jewell and Group. The two tight ends we brought in, Chow and Jewell. We brought three total tight ends in, but we really like the speed of Gideon Jewell. We really love the speed of Gideon Jewell, and we brought another one in that got that type of speed as well. All right, Cam Group. This is a kid that got the speed. All right, agility. He's very shifty. One of those guys that you can get the ball to him on jet sweeps and everything like that, and he can make things happen. Open field, it's hard to get after him. He really makes guys, but he has to get better as a route runner. He has to get better as a pass catcher and a true wide receiver, right? To play at this level, you're going to have to really show that you can play that position, right? Like, you got to be able to do it all. And I think he's coming there to learn how to do it all. Vi Tenasayamo, they say we don't go get those type of guys, but out of Arizona, we go get the 8th player in the state of Arizona, 45th player at his position. But he's the gym guy, right? This is the kid that got 5-star potential, and that's because of what he did in the camp circuits and the 7-on-7 circuits. He showed that he can really play, right? Good speed, right? Really good speed, actually, right? Agility as well. He's another guy, though, right? Deep route running was the issue with him. Like, this kid can catch a 5-yard pass and take it, turn it into a 30-yard gain at any moment. But we want to see if he can stretch the field when you're dealing with speed, the college level, and especially when you want to go to the next level. That speed, everybody running, everybody got technique, everybody know what they're doing. How are you going to fare when you get on the field? This kid will not play year one. He knows that, not worried about playing, but he's worried about developing. Same thing with Javier Weidermeyer out of Georgia, right? 21st player in Georgia, 48 at the position of receiver, another one of those gems. This is the recruiting talent that we have. The scouts go find these gems, man. That's the one thing they do. They go find the gems. See, Colorado haven't unleashed the 6'5", 6'6", you know what I mean, the 6'4", big time receivers on the outside that you can win the 50-50 ball. They haven't released that. You ain't get to see all that yet. 6'1", Amarion Miller might be the tallest receiver on the field right now. CJ Wiley is a 6'5", 6'6" guy right now in Colorado's on their roster right now that you're gonna see him unleashed next year. But Weidermeyer, you can see what they're looking to do right now, right? They like the shifty guys and the guys you can get the ball in their hand and they can make plays for you. But they also want those guys that can win in the red zone. And I think Weidermeyer comes in and can give them that presence. And then there's the tight end Merriman, right? Y'all all know who Sean Merriman is. This is his son, Jared Merriman, at tight end, 6'4", 237. Really good speed, right? Good agility. The question with him is, how good are you in the run game, right? Can you block? All right, Cliff Fournette, right tackle. They bring in, nice star. He's number 2 in the state of Kansas, 24 at the position. And you start to go down. Smelter comes in, Morgan Smelter, another D tackle, 6'4", 328. That's that big body run stopper right there. 9th in the state of Indiana, 22 at his position. Right in Hart, right? Brian Hart, this is a development guy. He's a star. Started to fall off at the end of the year. I think injuries killed him. That's why you see the red gem on him right now. And this kid is actually an elite player. So if he can get in the program and get back to that status, I think you're dealing with a undercover, another one of those gems on the low, right? I know the red gem can turn people off, but just look at his development trait. He's already a star. So that tells you he fell off, and that's just guys grading him right now of not being able to play the last 7 games of the season. A sleeper running back out of New Jersey, right? When you bring in an Anthony Israel from Camden, New Jersey, you start to think about the players in New Jersey. When you see a guy actively doing what he's doing in college football for this Colorado football team, you start to think, is there any more talent in the state of New Jersey, right? And they go into Westfield, right around the corner from Camden, and go get Paul Lennon, the 6 foot, 191-pound running back. He went to Woodbury High School. Good speed, 91, 92. So he's a 4.5 guy right now. We think we can get him faster and just get the weight room program, get him stronger, and after a redshirt season, we see what happens. But the guy we fuck with the most is Titus Dukes here, man. Number 5 at the position at left guard, number 3 in the state of Oregon. We went right in the Oregon backyard and took the 449 player in the nation. We love this kid, right? Now, I can tell you this, you'll look at him and see the 89 strength right now, right? But he's one of the strongest squatting guys in the country as a high school kid. And we like the high level of blocking he possesses right now. And the fact of the matter is that he has 76 acceleration. His get off is everything we need. At linebacker, only 3-star on the roster that we brought in right now. We go get a guy with 90 speed, another one of them 4-5 guys. You're starting to see what Colorado's looking for when it comes down to these players. 6'2", 238, he has the size right now. Why is he a 3-star? This is a kid that just didn't go into he just not went to camps, right? He's a kid that if you're not in California, you don't know about him because he hasn't hit the tour of camps and planning, 7-on-7 circuits at linebacker. He hasn't done all that stuff. He is a gym rat, a guy that goes hard in the weight room, and he's not just that, not just go hard in the weight room. He is a film junkie, and you'll get to see that, right? Because you're looking at a 3-star with the green gem. We know he's a 4-star talent. And Corey Phillips said that, like, look, man, this kid is more than a 4-star. If you really watch his highlights and then you get to meet the guy and you get around him and his family and listen to his football awareness, he's really a guy that's cerebral. He knows he understands what he's seeing. He understands how to watch film. And when you bring in a guy in out of high school right now that's already a film junkie that understands what he's watching, when he's watching, breaking down film, it explains everything. When they got him on a chalkboard, they were impressed with him and offered him immediately. All right, last but not least, we brought in another scrambling quarterback out of Stockton, California, Avery Largent, right? This kid is one of those kids that we told, listen, we have our quarterback room. We know what we got. You got Peyton Manning's son coming, right? We already have Jaden O'Neal already on the roster. That we can't make no promises to you. If you come into Colorado, it's because you just want to be a part of Colorado and what we are as a program and a culture. You just want to be a part of that. He signed on a dotted line the same day after being told that by Deion Sanders. That just tells you the kid's character, right? All right, and then we're looking to bring in a punter as well. When you think about top classes in the country and you see Colorado sitting at number 2 right now, they stumping with the big dogs right now. And most of you guys thought Coach Prime would be taking his talents to the NFL and all this. He going there, he not going to do that. He following Shador and all them and that. Well, it's 3 years after Shador, 3 years after Travis Hunter, and you're looking at a coaching staff that has the number 2 recruiting in the recruiting class in the nation. They had a top 5 class last year. They've been in the top 10 every season. So it's telling you who they are and what they're looking to do. Everything has improved for Colorado when you start looking at their team, right? When you're looking at playing style, guys are in the building. We're number 6 in the country, nationally ranked. When it comes down to what we bringing in as far as roster-wise, our coaching staff, what we do scheme-wise, what we do on the field, play calling and all that. The type of talent we bringing in has us ranked at number 6 in the nation because we're bringing in guys that match what we like to do. So we're not just going after stars. We're not just going after any player. We're going after players that fit our program right now. When you look at what's on our roster, you're not seeing it until you see it, right? Scrambling quarterbacks is the core makeup of our team, but we have a different style quarterback in each one of those rooms. Now, proximity to home. How well do we do when it comes down to the position of quarterback? Now, when it comes down to proximity to home, you're looking at the quarterbacks on this list right now. All these guys are close. Well, then take a look at where Marshall Manning, you're looking at Kyrie Dubose, the number 2 player in the nation, right? He's sitting down there with a C-, 5-star though, right? When you look at the running back, closest running back prospects, you start looking at some of these guys. Coach doesn't really have these guys worrying about being close to home, but look at Glenn Major. He's number 5 on his list. as a 4-star. That's a C grade, right? Even in the wide receiver room, you take a look at what we brought in the wide receiver room. As far as close to homeness right now, you're looking on this list, and do you see any one of Colorado's commits? You don't. None of them are close to home. They go get their wide receiver from the wide receiver states. It's that simple. Tight end room, now you can kind of argue that a little different. Chow is right there with a B as a 4-star. As you keep looking on this board, look at Jewel. He's sitting right there, down there, nowhere near close to home at all. Championship contender. All right, Bud Elliott's blue chip ratio. We are 62% value. Current media poll ranking is number 3 right now. We are number 5 when it comes to top schools in the nation right now. We sit at number 5 with an A+. Program tradition. To get Colorado up to 19 matters right now, right? National championships, we have 1 appearance, 2 in value right now, right? So they got 2 titles, 1 in the 90s and 1 in 2024. Playoff games, 6, 8 appearances. Heisman winner, only 1 right now. Rashawn Salam, Travis Hunter won it in 2024, so we really should have 2 up there. But now conference championships, 9 appearances, 29 in value. Bowl games, 18 and 37. Campus lifestyle, 23 in the nation with an A-. Stadium atmosphere, and it's the big one right here. To get up to the number 22 stadium, because we only hold 60,000 plus. About 63,000 fits in Boulder. But the mountains in the background, the atmosphere, I don't think there. And then what comes to the stadium when they play at home? Home winning percentage, we're at 62%. Home attendance percentage is 100%. Average home game attendance is 50,163. Current home winning streak, we're on a 27 home game winning streak, and our team prestige is a 4.5-star program. That's the prime effect. Pro potential. All right now we got projected first round picks 2. That's just in this class right here. All right, we got a 3rd round projector, and then we got 8 players with a 4th to 7th round grade right now. We're number 16th in the nation. The fact that we even in the conversation with the Clemson, Tennessees, look at UCF. That's another team that's sitting up there at a high value. Ohio State at 12, Texas Tech at 11, 10 at Penn State. Penn State at 10. The fact that we are in that top bracket right now with an A on pro potential is telling you that NFL staff that they got, most of their coaches are from the NFL, and it's starting to show that these players are coming in and getting NFL coaching, and they're heading there, keeping their promises on getting these guys to the highest level of competition, and that's the NFL, and we're holding that promise right now. And this is why we're bringing in top classes. All right, brand exposure. Some of y'all say, damn, y'all sitting at 9. With Deion Sanders as y'all head coach, y'all only sitting at 9 when it comes down to brand exposure. What about all the money he making Boulder since he's been the head coach in Colorado? We talking about blue blood programs in front of him. Florida State, Oregon, USC, Oklahoma, Michigan, Ohio State. Do you understand that sitting in the top 10 when it comes down to brand exposure matters? Completely matters. Just look at what's going on in Colorado. National championship games played, again, 2 wins, 1 appearance. That 1 appearance is for this coaching staff, but they do have 2 championships, right? Playoff games played, 6 wins, 8 appearances. Games of the week played, 3 wins, 3 times that we had game of the week. National televised games played. Now that's medium. We only got 50, where, that should be higher with Coach Prime, because every game they played has been on national television. But things has changed. It start to quiet down. The more you do shit, the less people are interested in it, right? But money is money. Revenue that's brought in following a Coach Prime, Colorado Buffalo-led football team speaks volumes. And then streaming games played. Well, I don't know why that's 0 wins, 0 appearances, because we streaming everything at this point. So we'll see. Now, talk about the books. Academics prestige. He does not like this whatsoever. Now, how do I can change this? Academic prestige is determined by success off the field and is not impacted by football activities. Academic prestige can't be improved by user action, so there's really nothing I could do. Taking on a team of Colorado to start the disc off 2024 is not going to move this at all. So even though we have an average of a 3.0 GPA for all our athletes, doesn't help us because we can't move the needle here no matter what. Now, as far as the Big 12 conference, see where the Big 12 sit when it comes down to the Power 4? Now you see why our schedule, no matter what we do, conference prestige is what's killing us. But look, we got an A- grade, so we can sell kids on conference prestige. But if that's their deal breaker, we're going to lose them to the SEC, the Big 10, and the ACC teams because we're number 4 with a B+. And there's nothing we can do about that. Average member team prestige is an A-. Coaching stability. Head coach job security at 100%. Head coach years at the school has been 3 years there. Head coach contract remaining years is 5, and coordinator years with the school is 7. That's a low because we just changed certain situations. All right, but we still got Pat Shermer as the OC and Rob Livingston as our DC, and they're doing a hell of a job for Colorado. Coaching prestige. Come on, man. Coach Prime, the OC. I keep telling y'all, our DC came in, Rob Livingston, and he got an A+. I don't even know why his impact is medium right now. And Pat Shermer, y'all already wrote him off in 2024 when he was named the OC, taking over for Sean Lewis in 2023. Everybody wrote him off. Especially the Colorado guys. When he was at Denver, he wasn't shit. Man, you know, if you ain't got no quarterback in the NFL, you ain't got no chance. Simple as that. He got a quarterback. Since we've given him a quarterback, Shedeur Sanders and Juju Lewis, he's been spoiled. And you see who the quarterbacks we got on the roster and what we bringing in. You know Shermer's going to better work the system now and show who he really is. And Livingston came in with that. We don't have a system. I don't have a playbook for you. What I have is a bunch of shooters, and we let our shooters shoot. And we pick the best talent on the field and put them. And what we know about our talent is we know everything about the player. And we don't put them in no situation that they can't succeed in. We know their strengths, and we play them to that strength. And this is why our defense has been top 10 in the nation. All right, athletic facilities. All right, we sitting at 51 in the country. We don't like that. We think we should be a little higher right now, but our athletic director George is working on those things to better up our facility and put us in the situation. Now, athletic facilities measure the quality of your football facilities relative to the rest of the country. Increase your team prestige to drive this grade up. So we can control this. How we control it? Where's team prestige? I don't see that on here. All right, and the last and foremost, playing time. How many players come into our system with playing time as their conversation right now? So as you can see, Largent is a C-, Manzo is a D+, and Marshall Manning sitting there at 3. Dubose is really Marshall Manning. As y'all know, we changed these players to real life players from their class. But he's sitting with a C-, so they really aren't bitching about playing time at all at the quarterback position. The running back position, same thing. Not bitching too much about, but these guys on the board, playing time is part of their deal breakers, though. At the wide receiver level, all the guys we bringing in, none of them are bitching about playing time at all. Weidemeyer is the highest grade with a C+. And as you can see, the 4 receivers that we got to commit to our football program, none of them really are asking. I talked to you about them. When I brought up Weidemeyer, I brought up Bomb, Group, and Tieno Asamo. When I brought these guys up, I told you they guys that knew they were coming into the program to develop. They wasn't coming in there bitching about, I got to get on the field now. Child, Jewel, and Merriman, Sean Merriman's son the same way. You're looking at left tackles, nobody. Left guards, 1. Duke's coming in A+. I told y'all, we showed y'all who he was. Told you he was our dog. We think he'll crack the. He won't start, but he'll be playing in 2026. Best believe he will not be a red shirt guy. No center in the program from this class. At right guard, we're good there. Right tackle, we got 3 coming in. All of them got big high grades, A plus, A minus, A plus. At left end, nobody in the docket. Left end position group grade is an 80. At right end, our right end position group is an 80. With Hart and Aldridge coming in, the 5-star and the 4-star. At D tackle, we got committed D tackle prospects 2. D tackle position group grade 80. Graduating D tackle seniors only 1. I'm gonna go back through this list and read those again. Linebackers 79 position group grade. Committed linebacker prospects 2. Middle linebackers, we got a 79 position group grade, and Coach Prime was adamant. You saw it on Well Off Media when he was talking to Coach Andre Hart. He talked about this, getting that group grade up, and this is why they spent a lot of resources at the linebacker room. Look at what they did. They brought in 5 middle linebackers. 5 of them. And as far as playing time, none of them going to bitch about it. But there's a couple of them on this list, especially the 2 5-stars and Torrance, that's probably going to better see the field early. Rand Dunson, then Damon Downs, Double D. Those guys probably really going to see the field, whether it's through special teams or just rotation. They're going to see the field. But we want this grade up higher, right? We gotten 5 of them committed, but we need this grade to be higher. So we, in all total, we brought in a total of 7 linebackers in this 2027 class. 8 linebackers in this 2027 class. Yep, because Willis is here too. All right, and the cornerback room. All right, only 1 committed. We like our cornerback room is loaded. Our position group is at 82 overall. Graduating, we only graduate 1 senior, and that's Colton Hood. Everybody else is potential to return, coming back with Naeem Alford leading that attack, but could leave early for the NFL as a junior. Free safety room, we didn't bring any free safeties in because of the promise we made to the group that we had. We feel like we have a really good safety room and we did not have to attack that position. Maybe in the transfer portal we'll go after a free safety, but right now we feel comfortable at where we at when it comes down to free safeties. And we did bring in 1 strong safety in a group where we only got 2 on the depth chart as actual strong safeties, but we play our safeties from free or strong. We can rotate them around. We do got a high grade though. Our defensive back room is at 82. And Walls is an A+ grade coming in as the number 1 strong safety in the country. So that's what you get in with the team prestige. Once that grade go up, that team prestige go up to a 5-star program, man, the sky is the limit for Coach Prime and what they're doing in Colorado. Let's go back to the quarterback position. 3 commits coming in 77 grade. At the running back position, we got an 82 grade with 2 coming in. At the wide receiver room, again, we got an 80 grade with 4 coming in. Tight ends, we got 3 coming in, 77 grade. Left tackle, 79, none coming in. Left guard, 79, 1 coming in. Center, 79, none coming in. Right guard, 79, none coming in. Right tackle, 79 with 3 coming in. And then left end, we got 80, none coming in. Right ends, 2 of them coming in with 80 grade. Same thing with the D tackles, 80 grade, 2 coming in. Looking at left outside linebacker, we got 79 grade 2 coming in, middle linebacker 79 grade 5 coming in, and right outside linebacker 79 grade 1 coming in. Cornerback room 82 grade 1 coming in. At safety, none coming in, 82 grade, and that strong safety 1 coming in, 82 grade. So you see what we're doing and the potential of what Colorado is doing in the recruiting game and what Dion has done over the last 4 years with this program. It's on the rise right now. It is flat out on the rise right now. Now, when we talk about our coaching staff and what they have abilities and what they can do right now, Coach Prime, all right, has done a really good job of managing and being a coaching staff. But what's his strength right now? He's definitely a motivator. Now, he could be a program builder, 20 points, or we can also, you got to win 2 national titles. We can open up program builder right now. We can also open up talent developer right now. But motivators where he's at right now, we can open that up right now. We want to buy that, but we already inside of it, so I don't understand why they're telling us to go after it right now. But these things help with the development of your program. Right now, what he is an elite recruiter, obviously, right? Coach Prime is doing a good job at recruiting, and we could probably spend some points here. O-line gains additional interest for every 10 hours spent. We want to go to boost the pipeline bonus to wide receivers. I don't really care about that because we have a weak pipeline, so I don't really care about that. My school grade have larger impact on quarterbacks. D line gains additional interest for every 10 hours. We're not going to spend no points right now. Our offensive coordinator, all right, I know his name is Lee Buha, but remember that's Pat Shermer, and he's also an elite recruiter. And if you can see what he has popping, a lot of that is down here good. So we hoping he can open up the linebackers to help out Coach Hart. But right now he has all the things we need down here for real. But you need to clean up some of this shit right here. Start getting better and getting some points there, Coach. And a scheme guru. It's crazy because I'm telling you, Rob Livingston don't have a necessary playbook, but he's a guru when it comes down to scheming. All right, let's look at the Colorado's what they doing the stat wise. Juju Lewis 6,145 yards. The one thing he's a little pissed off about is the INTs, right? 26 INTs, but this is just giving him more range, and he's been a safe quarterback throughout his career, right? But this year they gave him the range. Look, man, try pitch your talent in positions to make plays for you. Simple as that, right? And sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. He's under his high right now, right? He's thrown 31 interceptions every year. And I'm still telling you he's a safe quarterback, right? He doesn't really put us in too many bad situations. But shit happens. Now, with that being said, he's down to 26 right now, but he's also not at his high of 87 touchdown passes in one season. But when you got a downfield quarterback that throws downfield a lot, um, and he's 75%. Like each year as a starting quarterback, he's went up in quarterback QBR. I mean, completion percentage 69 as a freshman, 10.2, 73% as a sophomore, 11.7, and now he's at 75% with 13 yards of play. So he's going downfield. So we like what we're seeing out of Juju. And the run game, look, in 2026, he carried the ball 118 times for 374. And remember, sacks count as negative rushing yards in college. So a lot of this 3.2 and 1.3s and things like that, that's off for sacks, right? Simple as that. All right. And we do look 6 and 7. We said we want you to turn that number down some, right? Learn how to slide and get down. Stop trying to be a running back. We don't need you to do that. But 4 fumbles at the quarterback position this year is he brought the numbers down. So we appreciate that. All right. So out of the guys that got 20 or more carries, you're looking at Juju 98, 2 touchdowns at 1.3. Remember, sacks matter. All right. Latimer hasn't let the ball go at all. Israel has fumbled twice. One was recovered by him. The other one was recovered by the other team. But he has 236 carries. Latimer has 159 carries. Latimer should be a 1,000-yard running back before the playoffs is over and done with. 14 rushing touchdowns, 26 from their backfield production. So 16, 26. They are really, really scoring touchdowns from the running back room. On the receiver game, we got 3 receivers over 1,000 yards, with Cam Michael giving us 1,000 yards twice, 2,311, 38 touchdowns. Quentin with 97 catches, 1690, 19 touchdowns. and Draylon with 1,055 and 7 touchdowns. Draylon is adamant on getting to double-digit touchdowns. Amarion Miller with 6 touchdowns, but only 24 catches on the year. Kula J gave up 9 sacks this year. Cam Cardi Smith gave up 9 this year. Jordan gave up 8 this year. That's why I said Jordan to me really hasn't been on this game in, game out shit. And Chauncey Goodwin only 3 on the year with Zach Owens, big Zach Owens, with 6 games played, 360 downs played, with only giving up 1 sack this year. Cash Cleveland with 666 downs played in all 13 games thus far, haven't given up a sack all year. On the defensive side of things, Baldwin has 112 tackles, Branch with 90, NOBB, Nathaniel Awoso Boateng with 90 tackles. Young Tyler Atkins gets on the field as a redshirt freshman, 77 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and the INTs, having a really good freshman year, right along with Jaden McGregory. The future is bright for Colorado. True sophomore Talano Illy, we call him Illy Ill, 70 tackles on the year as well, with Alexander the White Knight. Alexander McPherson, 69 tackles on the year, 40 tackle for losses, 23.5 sacks. Start talking about the tackle for losses, 40 for McPherson, both at right outside linebacker, but he does play our middle linebacker. And passing downs, 25 tackle for losses, 21 for Illy, 20 for Atkinson. C. Hud, 17, Merritt with 17, and Baldwin with 14, all my double-digit guys. And then sacks, you got 4 guys over double digits, with McPherson leading the way with 23.5 sacks as a redshirt freshman. First year on the field as a starter, he got 23.5 sacks and an INT. NOBB over his career, 3 years, 13 sacks. But this year, I mean, over 3 years he's been doing this. But right now he has 25 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, and 7 INT. He's been picking the ball. His career and what he's done is nothing less than spectacular. As a true freshman, that man had 129 tackles. Remember, he played middle linebacker as a true freshman. 8 sacks, 9 INTs. Last year, he played strictly middle linebacker. 146, 40 tackles for loss, 13.5 sacks, 4 interceptions. And this is the first year we actually got him on the edge because we want to show the NFL scouts that he can rush off the edge. 90 tackles, 25 tackles for loss, 13 sacks, 7 INTs. I mean, that's careering right there. The funny thing is why they're not showing his awards, because he definitely have awards. He won Best Linebacker of the Year in 2025. All right, Colton Hood with 14 picks on the year, Baldwin with 10. Colton over his career is going bonkers. Look, 6 in 2025, 7 in 20. He went up and he doubled that shit in 2027. That kid is balling. I don't know how Baldwin won defensive back of the year award with those type of numbers. He definitely went up in interceptions because we gave him range. He played near the line of scrimmage a lot in 2025 and 2026. He's back deep, playing the safety back deep a lot more in 2027. 2 sacks though, 10 picks on the year, 3 deflections, forced 3 fumbles, recovered 1. How many touchdowns he got? 3 touchdowns in 2027. And as much as the redshirt freshman, stat-wise, we complain about him in games a lot because we expect so much. Coach Prime, said it's rare to be able to coach a 6'5" safety that has the range, the speed, and the talent that this kid has. And Coach Prime wants to bring the best out of him, and he's getting it right now. 7 interceptions. He has the 1 sack, 3 tackles for loss, and 72 total tackles. No touchdowns yet, though. this Colorado football team, man, if there's a year that they should go to a title game, this is it, right? Juju was on record when we talked about Juju Lewis and his interview on DNVR. He talked about winning a national title, and he got 2 eligible years remaining to do it. And RK from DNVR asked him if, as your junior year unfolds, and when it comes to the end of it, what do we say about Juju Lewis? And he says he wants to be a guy that was handed the keys by Shedeur Sanders. Hold on, babe. The guy that handed the keys to Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders handed Juju the keys, and he came in and made the team proud of being able to take over that quarterback room and do the things he's done. But he also wants to do what Shedeur did, and that's win a championship. And he said, could he one him up and win 2? Well, in his junior year, being a prospect of being the number 1 quarterback, being able to be selected for 2027, if he wins the title this year, does he stay to be able to try to one up Shedeur Sanders, or do he walk out of here with a conference title? He also slickly said, Shedeur never won the Big 12. I did it 3 times. With that being said, that's our Colorado series, episode 7. We'll holler at y'all.